It all started with an unexpected sighting on the streets of California. A compact car, covered in camouflage that barely concealed its aggressive curves, caught the attention of those still skeptical that Elon Musk would actually launch a Tesla for under $11,000. But there it was, rolling silently, with a low stance, wide wheels, and lines that looked like something out of a European luxury car studio. The buzz didn't last long. Experts began to speculate. Was it the shortened Model Y? An experiment? Nothing of the sort. It was the long-awaited Model 2, ready to change the game. With the official announcement came the shock. $10,199, a figure so aggressive it made the entire automotive industry gasp. In a market where even entry-level cars cost over $20,000, Tesla decided to reverse the logic. This wasn't an unfinished prototype. It was a complete car with a sporty look, a powerful engine, and cutting-edge technology, born to be affordable. But there was something different about this launch, a sense that the future had finally stepped off its pedestal and into the hands of the people. A bold move, typical of Musk. The Model 2's silhouette resembles a refined coupe. Short yet robust, it features an aggressive front end with tapered headlights and a slightly raised rear end, giving the car an almost athletic stance. The 19-inch wheels and widened track on the sides reinforce this presence. But what really catches the eye is the low body height, which contributes to impeccable aerodynamics. Visually, it's closer to a European sports hatchback than anything the American market has ever called a people's car. Watching the Model 2 in motion, it's hard to believe it's an entry-level car. Its cornering balance, body rigidity, and smooth ride reveal refined engineering. Many have wondered how Tesla managed to achieve this with so little. The answer seems to lie in Giga Texas's new manufacturing process, where Giga Press robots and optimized assembly systems have managed to cut costs and time without compromising quality. The result is a car that handles like a sports car but costs like an electric scooter. Even inside, the Model 2 surprises. The minimalist dashboard, already characteristic of Tesla, now has a more youthful and functional feel. The flat steering wheel, floating multimedia center, and seats with contrasting stitching raise the aesthetic bar without resorting to expensive materials. And although compact, the interior is spacious. The rear seats don't sacrifice comfort, and the double deep trunk shows that space was carefully considered. For a city car, it delivers more than expected, and this has already become one of the hallmarks of this new generation. Some say the Model 2 was born to be the iPhone of electric cars. Seats. And this comparison makes sense. Like Apple's first smartphone, it arrived to popularize a technology that until then was considered elitist. And more than just affordable, it's desirable. It doesn't feel like a second-rate product. It doesn't look cheap. On the contrary, the Model 2 impresses, attracts attention, and arouses curiosity. Even those who never considered owning an electric car are now beginning to consider the possibility. And this, perhaps, is the project's greatest asset. Behind its compact and elegant appearance, the Model 2 hides surprising power. Many people assumed that, as the cheapest Tesla ever, it would come with a modest single motor, front-wheel drive, and limited performance. But Elon Musk, as usual, did the opposite of what was expected. The Model 2 comes with two electric motors, one on each axle, forming an all-wheel drive system that delivers a combined 400 horsepower. That's more power than many luxury sports sedans, and, most curiously, in a car smaller than the Model 3. This engine choice seems overkill at first glance, but it makes perfect sense within the concept. The Model 2 needed to prove that affordable doesn't mean inferior. All-wheel drive offers not only more grip and stability, but also impressive acceleration. According to internal technical reports, the Model 2 can accelerate from a standstill to 60 mph, 100 km/h, in just 4.8 seconds. It's the kind of sprint that glues you to the seat, and leaves luxury SUVs in the dust at traffic lights. And the most curious thing is that it all happens in absolute silence. But it's not just brute force. The real magic lies in the intelligence behind these two motors. The Model 2 uses an active torque management system controlled by artificial intelligence based on the FSD AI-5 chip, the same one that manages Tesla's most advanced autopilot. This means the car analyzes, in real time, dozens of variables: speed, steering wheel angle, tire grip, road inclination, and even the driver's driving style. And based on these factors, it automatically decides how to distribute power between the axles. If you're climbing a slippery hill, it can send 70% of the torque to the rear axle. If you're taking a sharp turn at 80 km/h, it can transfer 60% of the power to the outside wheel, improving stability. And all this happens without the driver having to do anything at all. The system adjusts traction in milliseconds, with up to 99.9% accuracy, drastically reducing the risk of skidding, even in adverse conditions like snow or heavy rain. It's as if the car thinks for you and gets it right. This technology not only improves safety, but also enhances comfort. With torque delivered so precisely, weight shifts in corners are smooth, acceleration is constant and predictable, and the car feels glued to the ground. First-time drivers of the Model 2 often say the same thing. It exudes confidence. Whether you're driving on a dirt road, a wet track, or a highway at 75 mph, 120 km/h, the car reacts calmly, with poise and confidence. And this, for an entry-level car, is simply unprecedented. Another benefit is the system's durability. Because everything is electronically controlled, and there are no mechanical differentials or complex transfer cases, wear and tear on parts is minimal. The two motors work in sync, but without relying on heavy gears or fragile joints. This means less maintenance, less chance of failure, and more time on the road. It's the kind of solution that seems expensive, and it was, until Tesla decided to make it standard. And the most incredible thing is that, even with all this power, the car remains extremely energy efficient. The Model 2's genius isn't limited to performance. What truly impresses is the attention to detail that no one sees, but that everyone feels in their wallets and in the peace of mind of driving. By eliminating mechanical components inherited from combustion engine cars, Tesla achieved something almost unthinkable, reducing the number of moving parts to just 200. To give you an idea, a standard gasoline engine typically has over 2,000. This means less friction, less wear, and of course, much less chance of problems. Tesla didn't just simplify the car, it simplified the owner's life. With this lean architecture, the risk of mechanical failures drops by up to 70%. It's as if the Model 2 was born to be shock-proof. No more timing belts snapping, no oil leaks, no more transmissions locking up. Preventative maintenance mostly boils down to software updates and tire checks. And do you know how much that costs? Less than $200 a year. That's right, a figure so low that even a traditional mechanic is shocked. For those accustomed to spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars on maintenance, this constant savings is like extra income. But what if something goes wrong? What if one of the motors fails? That's where one of the Model 2's smartest features comes in, the traction redundancy system. Even if one of the motors stops working, the other instantly takes over, keeping the car moving without loss of stability or performance. It's as if the car has an internal Plan B. And the curious thing is that, most of the time, the driver doesn't even notice. The Model 2 doesn't stall, or pull over. It simply keeps going, as if nothing had happened. This fault tolerance is only possible thanks to a new cabling and control system developed specifically for the Model 2. It communicates across multiple internal routes, ensuring that if one line is compromised, another immediately takes over. It's the kind of technology previously only seen in commercial aircraft or satellites. And now, it's in a $10,799 car. This demonstrates the kind of mindset Tesla has adopted. If it's good enough to protect a life at 33,000 feet, it's good enough to protect families on city streets. Another interesting point is that this reliability doesn't depend on constant maintenance. The Model 2 was designed to require as little technical attention as possible. Many owners report driving thousands of miles without even needing to open the hood. And when something needs to be done, the car itself alerts you, with clear and detailed messages on the dashboard. No mysterious codes or indecipherable warning lights. The Model 2 communicates with the driver like a personal assistant. And, most of the time, it resolves the issue with a simple over-the-air update. For families on a tight budget, this means predictability. No surprise visits to the repair shop, no inflated quotes. Everything about the Model 2 is transparent, straightforward, and accessible. And this care isn't just technical, it's emotional. Knowing that the car won't let you down on a trip with the kids or on the way to work brings a peace of mind few technologies can offer. It's not just mechanical reliability, it's everyday confidence, something that, for many people, is worth more than any luxury item. The first time someone steps into a Model 2 and looks at the floor, they don't notice anything extraordinary. It looks like a smooth, minimalist floor, like in any modern Tesla. But it's right there, beneath the feet of the driver and passengers, that one of the greatest innovations in automotive engineering in recent years lies hidden. Tesla has integrated a structural die-cast battery directly into the car's floor, built using a 16,000-ton Giga press. This battery isn't just a power source, it's part of the car's structure. Literally, the vehicle's skeleton. By eliminating the bulky protective housings and brackets used in traditional battery packs, Tesla was able to attach the battery pack directly to the floor. This allowed the car to gain interior space, reduce weight, and significantly lower the ride height. The result? A car with just 3.7 inches of ground clearance, significantly lower than the Model 3 or Model Y. This low height wasn't just for aesthetic reasons, it was designed to completely change the way the Model 2 handles on the road. And it did, starting with the center of gravity, which is 18% lower than the Model 3. This means the car rolls less in corners, responds more quickly during maneuvers, and offers a more precise sense of control. Even for those who have never driven an electric car, the Model 2 feels glued to the road. It doesn't dance around corners like other tall cars. And this, in addition to improving performance, drastically reduces the risk of rollovers, something especially important in emergency situations. Another direct effect of the structural battery is thermal stability. Because the cast aluminum structure dissipates heat more efficiently, the battery pack can maintain balanced temperatures even under heavy use or in extreme climates. This protects the cells, improves durability, and ensures the car's range remains stable for many years. It's as if the car had an invisible climate control system, always operating silently, preserving the vehicle's core with surgical precision. And there's more. The interior space gain is noticeable. By eliminating the traditional modules, the floor is completely flat. This resulted in a 15% increase in interior volume compared to the Model 3, reaching an impressive 110 cubic feet. For rear seat passengers, this means more legroom and knee room and less discomfort on long trips. For older drivers or those with mobility limitations, this flat floor invites ease. No steps, no hard fittings, everything is fluid, accessible, and simple. Comfort also translates into safety. The rigidity of the floor with the integrated battery ensures that, in the event of a collision, the force of the impact is distributed throughout the entire base of the car, reducing energy transfer to the cabin by up to 40%. This protects not only the structure, but also the occupants. For more fragile passengers, such as the elderly, this detail can be decisive. Less shock, less trauma, less risk. The battery has become a shield. While many people were still trying to understand how Tesla managed to fit a structural battery into such a cheap car, another surprise emerged as soon as I took the Model 2 for the first time. The ride comfort is simply absurd for its price range. It feels like driving a luxury German sedan, the kind that smooths out every imperfection in the road as if floating. But here, the secret lies in an intelligent, adaptive suspension system, something previously unthinkable in an entry-level vehicle. The Model 2 uses shock absorbers with electronic valves controlled in real time. This means that with every pothole, every patch of asphalt, every curb, the car adjusts suspension stiffness in 10 to 20 milliseconds. And best of all, it doesn't just react to the impact, it predicts it. Using sensors in the chassis, wheels, front-facing cameras, GPS, and even radar, the system scans the road 10 meters ahead and calculates in advance the best configuration to tackle the terrain. It sounds like sorcery, but it's pure engineering with artificial intelligence. This technology, called next-gen ride dynamics, not only protects the car, but also improves the experience for those inside. On poor pavement, the Model 2 can raise the chassis by 2 inches, soften the springs, and reduce cabin vibration by up to 30%. This means less steering, less bouncing in the seats, and less impact on passengers' joints. For heavy drivers or those with chronic pain, this is a real and constant relief. At high speeds, the handling changes completely. As the car exceeds 100 km/h, 62 nm, the system lowers the chassis by 1.5 inches, bringing the car closer to the ground. This reduces air resistance, improves aerodynamics, and stiffens the suspension, making the car more stable during cornering and changes of direction. The result is a firmer, quieter ride, with up to a 25% reduction in interior noise, especially the sound of tires rolling on the asphalt. It seems like a small detail, but the sensation inside the car transforms. The closest comparison to this comfort is with systems used in cars like the BMW 7 Series or the Cadillac Escalade, which cost up to 10 times more than the Model 2. It's as if Tesla had crammed the brains of a luxury car into a compact urban body. And it's not just the suspension that contributes to this experience. The rigid structural battery pack itself also helps isolate vibrations, creating a stable floor that doesn't transfer impact to the rest of the body. Everything works in harmony. Those in the back seat immediately notice the difference. Even on streets with ditches or poorly marked speed bumps, the car doesn't bounce or jolt. Passengers continue talking, using their phones, listening to music, as if they were in a premium train car. For families with small children or the elderly, this smooth ride isn't just a luxury, it's emotional comfort. The Model 2 doesn't tire. It cares. And it does so without demanding anything in return from the driver. No buttons, no manual settings. Everything happens automatically, in its own time. Another interesting point is that, despite so much onboard technology, the system is incredibly light and compact. This was made possible by integration with AI-5, the same chip that controls the motors and autopilot. By unifying the processing centers, Tesla saved space and energy and simplified maintenance. There's less to break, less weight to carry, and more fluidity in overall operation. The car always seems one step ahead of the curve, anticipating things as if it had already traveled that route 1,000 times before. The Model 2 isn't just a new car, it's the beginning of a new chapter in the history of the automotive industry. In 2026, Tesla achieved the seemingly impossible, delivering an electric vehicle with artificial intelligence, sporty performance, luxury car comfort, and an unbelievable level of safety, all for less than $11,000. This didn't just shake up its competitors, it rewrote the rules of the game. Traditional automakers, once comfortable with fat margins and recycled technologies, now find themselves forced to chase a reality that has changed without asking permission. The impact was so profound that many analysts are already calling the Model 2 the car that split the history of mobility in two.